Naples, Florida, the 82nd Capital One Orange Bowl just about set to begin. And our matchup this afternoon in our college football semifinal playoff. The Big 12 champions from Norman, Oklahoma, the Sooners, against the only undefeated team still remaining, the Atlantic Coast Conference champion Clemson Tigers. Baker Mayfield, a sensational, magical season for the #2 All-American quarterback against the first-team All-American quarterback in Deshaun Watson. Just two of the stars that we'll see this afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nussler along with Todd Blackledge. Beautiful day, sunny, about 84 degrees. As you know, the college football season sort of starts with recruiting. It works its way through spring ball, gets to August for fall camp. That's where we jump on board. And now here we are to end 2015, partner, and we've got the best afternoon and evening the college football season has to offer.
Yeah, we really do. We've got four very deserving teams fighting it out today. In the game over in North Texas later on tonight, it sizes up as a typical old-fashioned slugfest between two teams, Michigan State and Alabama, that pride themselves on playing rugged defense. Here in the Capital One Orange Bowl, a firework display. Two explosive offenses led by the two All-American quarterbacks. Should be fun.
This time a year ago, Oklahoma ended 8-5. Bob Stoops retooled, and here they are, one of the best teams in the country since that inexplicable loss to Texas.
When you sit in the main chair, you got to make tough decisions, and Bob Stoops let a couple loyal assistants go, brought in a young new offensive coordinator, switched a few other things around, and it's made all the difference.
And of course, Dabo Swinney is the coach of the year in college football, led by the first-team All-American quarterback, Deshaun Watson. Here come the Clemson Tigers. You can start to feel the juices flow, folks. It's getting close. In the other tunnel, the winningest team in Orange Bowl history, making their 19th appearance at 11-1. Big 12 Conference champions, #4 in the country, entering the playoffs. Here come the Sooners of Oklahoma. Down on the field at Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach, you have had a way of finding just the right words to say to your team in big games, a theme or a message. What was it that you left with them in the locker room before they ran out onto the field?
Let's finish 2015. It's been a great year. You know, there's no hope for a better yesterday. It's all about today, these 4 quarters, and just go out and let's play loose and try to play our best 4 quarters of the year. What
is the balance you want to strike with Deshaun Watson throwing the long, deep ball that he's good at and the running game?
Well, we always want balance in what we do, but a lot of that determines on how they play us. So, you know, we got to get into the flow of the game and see what their plan is, how they're going to try to attack us, and so we can counter that.
Your defense has a challenge. They like to go fast. They have a quarterback that can scramble too. What's the biggest challenge you see with that?
Well, you know, his ability to create and extend plays. I mean, we've got to do a great job. First of all, we've got to stop the run. You know, we can't allow them to have balance. We got to stop the run. That's critical. And then we got to try to contain him in the pocket. And we got to tackle him. He's a hard guy to tackle. So, you know, easier said than done. It's going to be a heck of a ball game.
Have a good one, Coach.
Okay.
Brad.
All right, Holly, welcome back into the booth, everybody. We're going to talk about those guys, too. It's just not every day or night that you get two quarterbacks of this caliber on the same field, Todd.
Yeah, and let's talk about their similarities first. When you talk about Baker Mayfield and Deshaun Watson, they're similar in their size and stature and their productivity and efficiency when it comes to throwing the football. They have been outstanding this year, both hovering right around 70% completion, excellent decision makers, well over 3,000 yards, both accounting for a lot of touchdowns, and they're both dual threat guys that can hurt you with their feet as well as their arm.
Bob Stoops with Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach, now you know you'll get the ball to start the game. What factors have you considered in scripting this that will help get you off to a quick start?
You know, Coach Riley does a great job with that, and I stay out of his way. So, in the end, he'll be prepared. He knows what he wants to do, and hopefully we can execute well.
I saw in your bowl prep you did a lot of ones versus ones, your starters against your starters. How did that help you prepare for a mobile quarterback like Deshaun Watson?
Well, when you're chasing Baker Mayfield around, it's a challenge, and we got a lot of good work. Hopefully it'll help us.
What are you most excited about tonight, Coach? You've been in a lot of big games.
Well, I just want to see our team execute well. I'm excited for it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Have a good one. Thanks.
All right.
There was only one blimp on their radar this year, the inexplicable loss in the Red River rivalry to Texas. Since that point, 7 games of being one of the most powerful teams we've seen in a long time.
And it reminds me so much of the run that Ohio State got on last year. They had a tough loss, an inexplicable loss early, and then from that point on, this Oklahoma team has played outstanding, and I really think the development of their running game to go with Baker Mayfield has been the difference.
Wow, what a scene. A lot of tiger orange and regalia purple. And throughout the stadium, a whole bunch of crimson and cream. Greg Hugo will tee it up. Alex Ross and Deron Neal are back deep. Alex has had a great career on kick returns. The 82nd Capital One Orange Bowl set to begin. And a kick out of the back of the end zone. So let's bring out Baker Mayfield. Remember, he started things off as a walk-on at Texas Tech and was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year offensively. Sat out a year after transferring to Oklahoma, and now he's a star. 69% of his passes, 35 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions.
You know, and I feel like we saw his coming out party. We did his game early in Knoxville. He did not play well for 3 quarters. They were down 17-0, and in the 4th quarter, something magical happened with Baker Mayfield, and we witnessed it, and he has been on a roll ever since.
Mayfield and the Sooners start their first snap at the 25. Both backs in there, Mixon and P. Ryan. Play fake and some confusion, and Clemson comes up with a big play defensively on the first snap of the game, a loss of 4.
Well, good penetration inside. It was Carlos Watkins, number 94, that got the penetration up inside and got a hold of Baker Mayfield. They tried to throw quick off the play action, and Carlos Watkins very quick off the football.
And they put themselves in a hole on 2nd down, 2nd and 16. And now it is P. Ryan, and he gets that yardage back and a little bit more. As we take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players, and he's one of them. Another great season by the Sooners tailback, and both those guys are exceptional in the backfield. Sterling Shepard's the go-to guy at wide receiver. Shaq Lawson was the defensive player of the year in the ACC.
You mentioned Shepard. He's in the slot to the top. And Joe Mixon, the running back, is also a wide receiver.
They're going to give it off to P. Ryan, straight ahead, big gainer, and a first down out at the 45-yard line. Pickup of 17 on 3rd down.
Little counter play. Watch the tackle. Orlando Brown pull around number 78, get a block on the middle linebacker to spring P. Ryan.
Quick snap, P. Ryan again, only about a yard this time. You won't see a lot of huddling in this game, folks, if you're looking for some.
Again, the difference in Oklahoma ever since the Texas loss has been their recommitment to the running game. They simplified things. They started running the football better. Their offensive line developed. The last 7 games, they've averaged 300 yards a game rushing with P. Ryan and Mixon.
Which is double what they did prior to that. 2nd down and 9 at the 46. 4 wide receivers set for Baker Mayfield here. Blitz coming. Mayfield's going deep. And out of bounds, intended for Jarvis Baxter.
Well, they're going to call an interference, but I just wonder how this was a catchable pass.
Well,
this ball
was 3 yards out of bounds, wasn't it?
It was more than 3 yards out of bounds. He was running stride for stride with Ryan Carter, a backup defensive back.
That's interference. Defense number 31. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Normally you tell a defensive back if the guy is running to the sideline, just continue to take him that way. Boy, I don't know. That ball is not catchable in the field of play.
So it gives the Sooners a first down at the Clemson 39 as Dabo Swinney continues to steam on the Clemson sideline. P-Ryan, nice opening off the right side, and again the ground game in gear here. He picks up 5 more.
This Oklahoma offensive line has just gotten better and better. They started the year with 2 young tackles. They had experience inside, but a redshirt freshman and Orlando Brown at left tackle and a true freshman of Samia at the right tackle.
Mark Andrews in there. He's a matchup problem. And here's Baker Mayfield on a keeper. Ooh, and that might be a face mask. He's looking for one. Only a gain of 1. I guess not. E.J. Goodson made the tackle.
Good pursuit by the Clemson defense. Mayfield thought he had the edge, and Goodson pursuing from the inside did a nice job of wrapping up Baker Mayfield.
I guess he just got him under the chin, not the face mask. 3rd down and 3. They've already converted a 3rd down on this drive. 7th play of the drive, in fact. Mayfield fires near side, complete. First down, out of bounds. D.D. Westbrook. Pickup of 10.
Find the single coverage. Nice read by Baker Mayfield. Get the ball, get it out of your hands quickly, and find the single coverage matchup. Westbrook working one-on-one on the outside against Alexander, who is not the easiest guy to complete passes on.
Clemson trying to change up some defensive personnel as Oklahoma runs up to the ball on the 22. Derek Shepard to the top of your screen. Mayfield looking that way. Now he comes to Andrews inside the 10. Down to the 1-yard line. There's your matchup problem.
He's 6'5". He lined up in an unbalanced line. It fooled the formation, fooled Clemson, and Andrews was able to slip out into the route undetected because of the unbalanced formation and use that size to get it down inside the 2-yard line.
Sooners 1st and goal at the 1. Neal in motion. Samaje Perine. Touchdown, Oklahoma. What a way to open up the Orange Bowl, huh? 75-yard drive in 10 plays.
Well, you saw the strength of Perine on that run because both inside linebackers for Clemson, Goodson and Boulware, were there unblocked, and he ran right through both tackles.
A man short on the extra point as Austin Seibert is in to try to make it 7-0. Extra point up and perfect. 11:16 remaining in the first quarter. 75 yards in 10 plays, converting 2 third downs, and then Samaje Perine, his 16th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Sooners lead the Capital One Orange Bowl 7-0. Nick Hodgson to kick off. C.J. Fuller and Artavis Scott are back deep. That's Artavis, the leading receiver for the Tigers. This will be returnable. Maybe. He's got to shag it down way over there at the 2-yard line. Scott trying to bounce it out to the 20. He's not going to make it. So out comes Deshaun Watson. Top-ranked dual-threat quarterback in ESPN's rankings in the year 2013. 4-1 in 2014 before he tore his ACL. This year the Davey O'Brien winner, as the best quarterback in the country and a first-team All-American as well. Finished 3rd in the Heisman balloting. And he's got to take over at about the 18-yard line to open things up for Clemson.
Excellent decision maker, plays with great poise and calmness. And his team needs that from him right here.
Yeah, they do. He's going to throw on first down. And he's going to go deep. And it's overshot, incomplete. Let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players. And probably the most underrated player maybe on this Clemson team is Wayne Gallman, their tailback, who comes in with over 1,300 yards. We mentioned Artavis Scott, their leading receiver, with 84 catches. Defensively, Eric Stryker, the undisputed leader of that Sooner defense. has the all-time record for sacks for an Oklahoma quarterback. Nobody else even close. Rocky Calmus would actually be the closest. Second down and 10. Straight up the middle is Gallman, and he got 4 out to the 22.
Nice tackle in there by Jordan Evans, because Gallman had some room in front of him if Evans doesn't make a sure tackle. As we get ready to see Clemson's first third down situation. We already saw Mark Andrews make an impact for the Oklahoma offense. Jordan Leggett for Clemson, number 16, is their counter to that. This is him right in the slot.
Clemson was 12th in the country in their third down conversions. They'll have to get 6 here. Stryker comes on a blitz. The throws on target, complete. First down, Sharon Peak.
Just beautiful timing by Watson. He started reading the right side of the formation, knew that he had what he wanted back with Sharon Peak, and perfect timing on that throw in between the two Oklahoma defenders. Jordan Leggett needs to get involved for this Clemson offense. He's up at the top in the slot right here.
Number 16, first down at the 28. The throw is batted in the air and knocked away. And it was Charles Tapper who got a hand on it as we check in with Holly.
Well, as good as that tackle for loss was for Shaq Lawson, it may have been costly. He came over to the sideline limping heavily. He crashed to the ground. Finally, he was helped up. He's now sitting on the examination table. Danny Poole, the great athletic trainer, is looking at him right now. I'll give you an update as soon as we have it.
He was a defensive player of the year in the ACC. Here's Deshaun Watson on the run, and he's got a first down, I think, at the 18-yard line.
See, this is quarterback design run. It's a counter. They're pulling a lineman and the back. So you've got 2 lead blockers, everybody accounted for, and a quarterback who is willing to take a couple hits when he runs it.
Clemson was 90% on their red zone scoring. Watson rolls to throw, fires low, incomplete, intended for Hunter Renfrow. Shaq Lawson on the sideline, as Holly said, and he looks upset. It would be such a shame if his season ends on the second series of the ball game. He's got an ice bag on his left knee. Meanwhile, his offense back on the field. He's the one that put him in this spot. Second down and goal at the 6-yard line. Leggett, the tight end that Todd's talking about, is in tight, and now Watson tells him to move. Watson, keeper, Stryker from behind. Loss of 3.
Well, Gallman missed the block on Stryker, which is easy to do because of his quickness. You have to cut off the backside if you run counter like that. That time they used the guard and the tight end Leggett, but you have to account for that end man on the line, and the back, Gallman, was too slow trying to cut off Stryker.
Third down and goal. Probably the biggest target out there, wide receiver-wise, is Sharon Peak. And he's up top. Third and goal at the 9. Watson fires, corner, up high. Was it intercepted? Very close. Ahmad Thomas says incomplete. It was intended for Leggett.
Well, Leggett was open. Ahmad Thomas, working against a bigger guy, did a nice job of coming through the receiver to the ball. Made a nice play on the football to knock it away. Ahmad Thomas, one of 4 Florida natives from Miami.
Needed a lot of tickets for this game.
Yeah. Played his last regular season high school game in this stadium and just made a huge play defending his own end zone.
Ledge, I think if it would have still been inside the 5 or so, they might have thought about going for it on 4th down. But out here, after that loss by the play by Stryker, it becomes a 26-yard field goal attempt. And it's perfect as Hugo knocks it through to put Clemson on the board. 3:45 remaining, first quarter of the Capital One Orange Bowl. Sooners lead by 4. As you look at South Beach and in his 17th year in Norman, Big Game Bob. That was kind of questioned last year when they went 8-5. There's the numbers against ranked teams. And Bob doesn't usually lose back-to-back seasons to some of those clubs. This would be another team that he could beat and get a little revenge from, even though way different teams than when these two got together in the Russell Athletic Bowl last year.
Well, he made some tough choices in the offseason. Fired Josh Heupel and Jay Norvell as longtime co-offensive coordinators. Brought in 31-year-old at the time Lincoln Riley. Changed a lot of position coaches.
Actually went back to the future a little bit with how their offense works. Touchback. Quick snap, quick throw, wide receiver screen to Westbrook, made a couple Tigers miss. And he's got about 8 yards out of that play and into Clemson territory.
Really nice job by Deron Neal, one of the other receivers, number 5 out there. When you throw those wide out screens, your other guys have to block on the perimeter, and it was the block by Neal that allowed that to be a positive gain.
2nd down and 2 at the Clemson 49. Joe Mixon is the lone setback. Mayfield thought about going deep. Now he'll think about getting the 1st down. And he got it with plenty to spare. Pick up a 7 on the scramble.
Well, again, you're talking about taking a guy out of the lineup in Lawson, who is one of the premier pass rushers. Here's his replacement right there. Gets picked up on the inside stunt by the center, Darlington. And a nice decision by Baker Mayfield to run for the 1st down.
1st down at the 42. Lawson becoming a coach on the Clemson sideline right now for his understudy. Both Mixon and Pirine in the backfield with Mayfield on 1st down. Gives it to Pirine. Got 3 or 4.
You know, the irony for Lawson is this was his 1st year as being the starter. He was a backup to Vic Beasley the last 2 years, who's now playing with the Atlanta Falcons. He got a lot of reps, and he was very productive as a backup. And this year, as a 1st-time starter, 22.5 tackles for Lawson, 9.5 sacks to pace the ACC.
And the country in those tackle for loss categories. Pirine will try to get some of it back. Back to the 39. Got collared there by B.J. Goodson. B.J. Goodson, an interesting story. Talking with the Clemson coaches, they said had he not come on to be the leader and the leading tackler, he was kind of a 3-year guy where you go, hey, is he ever going to play?
And they felt like in this defense, that position has to play extremely well, and he's done that all year.
Came in as their leading tackler with a 127 stops on the year. He's had a few already here in the 1st half. 3rd down and a whole bunch. Shepard, the wide out to the top. They're just going to play it safe, and Mixon only got about a yard or so. Nice play. Wow. By Christian Wilkins, the freshman.
Really nice play. I mean, he was laying on the ground and just kind of reached out and got an ankle tackle and stopped it for no gain. And had they gained some yardage, you might have seen Oklahoma go for it on 4th down. But with that play, probably a punt.
Good 1st quarter. Oklahoma, number 4 in the country, leading number 1, 7-3. Top-ranked Clemson trailing number 4 Oklahoma 7-3 as we're just about set to start the 2nd quarter. Brad Nestle, Tom Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our ESPN crew in Miami Gardens, Florida.
Both teams only 1 penalty in the game, but both costly. Clemson's pass interference penalty kept their Oklahoma's touchdown drive going, and Oklahoma's penalty probably prevented them from a field goal attempt. The penalty on Flowers.
Pretty sure there won't be a return here of this Oklahoma punt either, as Seibert's been so good at pinning teams deep. Behind Seibert, low snap. He had to go down and get it. Now he just kind of pooches it down there, and it's caught inside the 5. Beautiful as Todd was just drawing up. Jordan Thomas catches it at the 3-yard line. 33-yard kick. Deshaun Watson's got himself a problem inside his own 5 on offense when we come back. Right now, Deshaun Watson, the lowest percentage and completions in a 1st quarter for him in his entire career. And now he's got to start at the 4-yard line. He's actually standing in his own end zone, and he's going to keep it. And he's got a lot of room to run. Deshaun Watson off to the races, cuts back to the middle of the field and all the way to midfield. That's the Deshaun Watson we're used to seeing.
Well, great block by the freshman left tackle Hyatt, and then a wide receiver out on the perimeter, Trevion Thompson. Watch 75 get his block. And then on the perimeter, Trevion Thompson, number 1, blocking on Jordan Thomas. And a dire situation turns into great field position in just 1 play.
1st down. Now he wants to go to the air. Still may run. Fires across his body, incomplete. Closest guy was Leggett. That's a tough throw for anybody. And he's limping a little bit. You see the brace on his left knee. Remember, his knee was surgically repaired after the injury last season when he went 4-1 before getting hurt.
I should mention Clemson playing without one of their best weapons here down the stretch. Wide receiver Deshaun Kane, the freshman out of Tampa, Florida, sent home 2 days ago.
And he had been on a tear with touchdown catches. Here's an end around to Scott. And Artavis gets 5.
They thought Deshaun Kane is probably going to be in the mold of those big-time receivers. He was kind of taking the place of Mike Williams, who they lost in the opener, who was their main receiver a year ago, expected to be their big downfield threat this year. A neck injury in the opener sidelined him. He'll be back next year, as will Deshaun Kane.
Mike with a collision on the goalpost in that game to end his season. 3rd down. And 4, and number 4 fires down the middle, and it's in and out of the hands of Leggett. Should have had it.
Well, should have had it, but it wasn't a great throw by Deshaun Watson either. He had protection. The ball was a little bit low for Leggett. Probably should have been caught.
But they did flip the field with that 46-yard run by Deshaun Watson, so instead of being buried down in their end, they're at the OU 44. Teasdale comes out to punt. Sterling Shepard back at the 10-yard line. They act like they might fake it, and they are going to fake it, and the throw is complete. I thought he was going to kick it, but he got it to Christian Wilkins. 31 yards on 4th down.
Unbelievable. Dabo Swinney trusting his punter. They liked what they saw, and he lets them make the throw. In the ACC championship game, he got all over his punter for making a decision on his own. They slipped the man out of the backfield. He was unaccounted for, and the punter makes a huge play on the fake punt.
Not a bad catch and run by Wilkins, the big fella, either. Turns into a fullback right there, and he almost took it down the sideline. And now Clemson with a little trickery here, and they get it down to the 6. Ray McLeod. Shades of Clemson of old.
That was a little Fumblerooski play.
Little sugar huddle Fumblerooski. Back-to-back trick plays by Clemson.
Well, you know, that call right there is something, one of the reasons why Dabo Swinney is so loved and endeared by his players. Love his willingness to take risk and believe in his guys.
2nd and 2 at the 5. Watson, quarterback draw. Deshaun Watson, touchdown, Clemson. Sometimes taking a risk pays off. Back-to-back plays it did. And the Tigers in front.
The difference between when you fake a punt on your own and when you do it when the coach calls.
Big difference. Hugel's extra point is good. Well, first you got to have some guts. Bring your own guts. As Dabo would say, that took guts. 31 yards. Then Deshaun Watson says, I've done this before. I'll do it again. 96-yard drive in 7 plays. Top-ranked Clemson in front. Back in Miami Gardens, Florida. Top-ranked Clemson now leads 10-7 after a 96-yard drive in 7 plays, and 3 of them were pretty wacky. Hugel set to kick. Alex Ross and Deron Neal are back deep. Ross will have a shot at this one from the 2-yard line. Alex Ross out to the 25. He'll throw again. Down the middle. That's 7 in a row. And it's the same guy, Meade, and a pickup of 8.
The day I was at practice, there was a lot of work with Mark Andrews and Meade. And again, because of their length, working on these corners of Clemson. Matchup situations favoring Oklahoma.
Second down and 10. Blitz coming off the corner. Play action. Pirine picks up the blitz, but Clemson's going to pick up the quarterback. Third sack of the game. Even without their all ACC defensive linemen.
You can't give him seams when you rush the passer. Watch the seams all get closed up as they go into the quarterback. You can't get wild and rush straight up the field and leave him seams to scramble. They did a nice job of closing all the gaps and then wrapping up the quarterback.
Third down and 17. Mayfield has time, throws down the middle, in and out of the hands of Deron Neal. It wouldn't have been a first down, but it would have been a nice pickup of 14 and 15.
Ball a little bit behind Neal. Mayfield hasn't missed too many, 9 of 12, but he hasn't gotten the big throws down the field yet. Clemson doing a pretty good job, again, after that first drive of limiting the big plays.
Austin Seibert comes in to punt. Third straight possession.
One of the things
ending with a punt right now.
One of the things Dabo Swinney told us about this team, he said, you know what, we don't have to play perfect to win, and our guys don't flinch. They haven't flinched here in this first half.
Again, the snap a little bit low. This is a nice punt. Seibert's going to have a shot at it, though. Rather, Scott's going to have a shot at it from the 15-yard line. Picked up about 4 on the return. So Clemson out in front, 10-7. They held defensively, and they'll turn it over to their quarterback when we come back. Clemson with a lead and the ball. Third down and a yard. This is Watson all the way, and he's got the first, and look out if he gets loose. Out across the 40 to the 43. See, another 15 yards.
The reason you run the quarterback so much is you gain an extra blocker. They give a lead blocker with Gallman, and he just takes out Sanchez. Watch Gallman lead and get the block on Sanchez. You get an extra blocker. Plus, if you're a defense trying to defend a quarterback that runs by design, you can't blitz as much. You have to be a little bit more conservative so you don't give up the big play.
Just under 9 to play in the half. First down. Clemson throw complete. It's going to be another first down. Artavis Scott got away. Stryker gets way back there to make what might be a touchdown-saving tackle. Pick up to 20.
Well, only the second catch of the game for the leading receiver for Clemson, Artavis Scott. And you see what makes him special, his ability after the catch. He's very strong in his upper body. A poor tackle attempt by Jordan Thomas. And Artavis Scott adds about 10 more yards.
Over 200 yards now in total offense.
The poise, the calmness of Deshaun Watson has really been evident in this first half.
Blitz coming. The throw is on target to the outside to Peak, and Peak gets 7 or 8 more.
The threat of the quarterback run has put this Oklahoma defense back on their heels a little bit. This is a defense under Mike Stoops that likes to bring pressure. They like to attack, and they're out of attack mode right now because the quarterback run has really neutralized their aggressiveness.
Second down and 2. Great situation to be in. They've had quite a few of these second down and short. Play fake. Watson in trouble. Down he goes. No, he's still on his feet. Deshaun Watson somehow got away from Tapper. It's amazing what these quarterbacks can do sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, this looked like a sack for sure. The throw wasn't there on timing. Good inside rush by Tapper. And this is why you see an offense that has only given up 14 sacks coming into the game.
And you know what? That's the first one they've given up. 207 passing attempts going back to the Florida State game. That's a long time between sacks. Here comes an end around and maybe a pass. Artavis Scott, ball up and tipped by Oklahoma cheerleader. About 10 yards out of bounds.
Well, I'll tell you what, back-to-back plays by the Oklahoma defense right when they needed them. Stryker made that play. Tapper made the play before. Two of your leaders, two of your best players all season come up with back-to-back huge plays when your defense needs it.
We're going to flag down.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 3. Person who threw the ball did not take the original snap, so he does not have the right to ground the ball. Lost it down. Fourth down.
When it's a wide receiver and not the quarterback, is that the call, Bill?
Well, I'm just wondering if there's a receiver in the area, which there was, the quarterback, Deshaun Watson. How does that not count for being able to throw the ball?
When you're not the person who took the snap, and you get outside the tackle box, you're not allowed to throw it away out of bounds crossing the line. Only the person who took the snap. That receiver was not in the area.
So Greg Hugel will try a 36-yard field goal to try to add to Clemson's lead. Hugel's kick is up, and it is good. So the penalty was very big. They had 7 more in their sights. They had to settle for 3. Top-ranked Clemson leads by 6. 13 unanswered Clemson points. They lead 13-7. After holding a 6-point lead, they have 122 in a row. But Oklahoma averages almost 46 points a game, so we're not done yet. From the goal line is Alex Ross. And Ross had an opening, got it across the 25, and got dropped there by Jaron Kearse. Straight up the gut with Pirine. Got collared at the 29. Bring up second down. There's our man, the biggest Sooner fans in the world, country music superstar Toby Keith. Well, he's been busy. He was over watching the basketball team in Hawaii about a week ago, and now he's here in South Florida with his wife Tricia watching the Sooner football team. Oh, nice play on the ball by Sterling Shepard.
And Mayfield was under duress. Clemson going with the blitz. It was single coverage. Again, Shepard working on Alexander, or actually working on the inside defender, Ryan Carter.
Great adjustment to the ball.
Back shoulder throw, and Shepard makes a beautiful adjustment in the air.
So now Oklahoma's at the 29-yard line. 3 wideouts to the top of the screen. Mayfield's going that way. Flips it out to Baxter. Baxter made one man miss. Puts his head down. Clemson will drop him inside the 25-yard line. Cordray Tankersley made the stop.
Nice answer drive by Oklahoma right now. Mayfield directing traffic.
And sets up in the backfield on 3rd down and 4. Clemson trying to change up defensively as Mayfield asking for the ball. Baker Mayfield fires near sides. Got it. Inside the 5-yard line is Sterling Shepard.
Boy, a lot of room for Sterling Shepard. He was the slot receiver, and the safety, Jaron Kearse, was way off in coverage. That was an easy read and throw for Baker Mayfield on 3rd down and under 5 yards.
This is where Baker Mayfield's at his best, when he can create things on 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Mixon, whoa, did he get whacked at the line of scrimmage. Big hit by B.J. Goodson and Kevin Dodd.
Kevin Dodd did a nice job. Watch the defensive end, number 98. Just kind of hold his ground here, maintain leverage, and get the first hit on Mixon.
2nd and goal. Back at the 5. Westbrook in motion. Mayfield changes his field, throws back the other way. Dangerous throw, broken up by Mackenzie Alexander. Boy, that could have been a big-time disaster.
Yeah, that was one of those ones that was a very risky throw by Baker Mayfield. You have to maintain coverage when he starts to scramble. This is a long throw from the right hash all the way across the field against their best defender. And Baker Mayfield was very lucky that that didn't turn into a bad mistake.
In the Tennessee games and the Baylor games, he improvised to get the touchdown when they needed. See if he does some of that here. Empty backfield.
Mark Andrews is in as the unbalanced line again.
3rd and goal. Mayfield lofts it. Andrews had his hand on it, but it's broken up by Tankersley. 4th and goal.
In the opening drive, they fooled Clemson's defense with that formation. Second time around, Clemson was not fooled.
This is the second time now both teams have had a first and goal at the 6-yard line and had to settle for field goals. And this will be Seibert from 22. They try to make it a 3-point game. They got close, but he got it up and good. Kickoff will not be returned. So it'll bring it out to the 25 against either Michigan State or Alabama. Here's Gallman. Gallman's been a tough runner today, and that's 4 more tough yards as we check in with Holly.
Well, the second leading tackler for this Sooner team, Jordan Evans, their linebacker, is likely done for the game. The doctors have just looked at his right pectoral, or kind of up under his right armpit area. They've put ice on him, no pads. The good news, his backup, Frank Shannon, has played a lot. 3 starts this year, 36 tackles. He just made another one right there.
Yeah, he did, Holly. I was going to say he was in on that stop.
The guy Clemson needs to get going is Jordan Leggett, the tight end. They've targeted him 3 times, no catches so far.
Down the middle. That one's caught by Artavis Scott. And it's a first down for the Tigers out at the 47-yard line. A pickup of 18.
Nice little combination route. They did have Leggett going up the sideline on a wheel route, and Artavis Scott broke open on the inside route.
And if you're Mike Stoops in that Oklahoma defense, you're saying we don't want to give him anything, but we definitely don't want to give him a touchdown here before halftime. This is Deshaun Watson all the way. Even keeps his hand on his blocker, and now down the sideline out at the 26-yard line. Wayne Gallman led the way, even had his hand on his rear end, I think.
Watch Gallman and watch the left guard, Eric McLean, their leader up front. A burying block on the cornerback, Jordan Thomas, and then the lead block. That's a counter play. You pull the guard, and you also lead with the back.
Over 100 for Deshaun Watson now. And picks up maybe a half yard on that one.
That one looked like a little bit of a mistake. I don't know if Deshaun Watson missed the handoff or missed a read, but I don't think that's one he wanted to keep.
Down to 2:45 remaining in the half. 6 out of 13 throwing, but 104 and a touchdown on the ground. Closing now very close in on a 1,000-yard season rushing. Here's a throwback screen, and it's dropped by Peak. And he was thinking about where he was going, and he forgot to take the football.
And they had a chance on this one. Oklahoma was coming with a blitz, single coverage outside, and when you throw a screen against a blitz, if you just get one guy blocked, you get a big play, and Pete not able to make the catch.
This would be a monumental stop for the Sooner defense if they can prevent a 3rd down conversion here. Empty backfield. There'll be 5 guys in the pattern unless Deshaun runs this again.
Striker at the top.
He is going to run, maybe at least to try to find a way to throw. Goes to the end zone, and it's too far, too deep. Peak got his hand on it. It is a stop for the Sooners.
Zone defense, 4-man rush, trying to keep everything in front. And excellent discipline by the Oklahoma defense, forcing the throwaway by Watson.
Well, this is going to be a long field goal attempt by Hugel. 43-yarder. He's hit from 47 this year. They try to tack 3 more on for Clemson. Hugel from 43 yards away. Kick out of the way. It's a beauty. Give it to him. Lead goes to 6 for the Clemson Tigers. 2:17 remaining in the half. First time that Deshaun's rushed for 100 in a half, but it's about the 6th time in the last 7 games or so that he's done it this season. Hugel's kick to the corner. Ross has to make the catch right in the corner at the goal line. It was an excellent kick as far as placement, and he still got out across the 20 with it. Baker Mayfield throws out in the flat to Samaje Perine. Cuts back to the middle of the field. Got a first down, and he's got more. Out across the 40-yard line. I think a lot of people thought he was going to run out of bounds after making that catch. He makes it a 19-yard catch and run.
Well, a lot of time for Baker Mayfield. 2 timeouts. Just a little over 2 minutes to go. Clemson can't relax. Again, defensively, they've squeezed them here in the first half. But that was a big play for Oklahoma.
First down at the 44. He looks right now, comes back left. He's going to just shovel it over to Perine again. He'll get what he can, which is a couple, before he's run out of bounds.
Austin Bryant with pressure on Baker Mayfield. Again, Austin Bryant, the young freshman, in to replace Shaq Lawson. Kind of learning on the fly tonight.
Sooners on the ball in a hurry at the 47. Clemson still shifting around defensively. Mayfield going to go deep down the middle, and it's caught at the 11 by number 11, D.D. Westbrook.
Well, great job by Mayfield, knowing he's going to get hit. This ball is completed because it's underthrown. Tankersley is going to make the play if the ball's thrown down the field, but because it was underthrown, Westbrook was able to kind of get his body between the ball and the defender and use it as a shield and make the catch.
Let's see what Lincoln Riley's dialed up. Mayfield's 3 for 3 on this drive from the 11. Mayfield throws it out in the flat to Andrews, puts the brakes on. Touchdown, Oklahoma. The Sooners have tied it up with the extra point upcoming. Austin Seibert for the point after, an all-important one at this point. Number 4 is back in front. Plays. Number 1 and number 4 in a first half classic in the 82nd Capital One Orange Bowl. And the top-ranked team in the country trailing by 1 as Holly's talking to their head coach.
Well, Coach, a good drive there. What will you say to your quarterback, Deshaun Watson, about what he should have done on that last play?
Heck, he gave his guy a chance to make a play. Didn't work out. But biggest thing is I think that's 5 good drives in a row. We just got to come away with touchdowns in the red zone. We've had too many field goals, so we just got to get a little better in the red zone. Hey, guys playing good. It's a heck of a ball game, just like he thought it would be, and we got a whole another half to play.
What gave you the courage? What factors did you consider about that fake punt in a crucial moment?
I just thought we needed to play, and felt like it would be there, and it was a good momentum play for us. And like I said, it's a game of a few plays. That was a big one for us, but we just got to get a little better. And really disappointed in that last touchdown drive. They scored in a minute. Really poor job, playing the ball in the air right there. But hey, they're a good team. They making plays. We made plays. It's going to be a great second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay. With
that Sanchez interception, only the second red zone turnover suffered by Clemson all year, and it cost some points. They trail at the break by 1. Buick halftime reports coming up right after these messages. And we welcome you back to the Capital One Orange Bowl. Just about set to start the third quarter. The top-ranked Clemson trailing the number 4 team in the semifinal playoff, 17-16 our score. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Todd Blackledge. Clemson, number 1 team. Deshaun Watson, great on the ground, but when they got down in the red zone, Todd, they had opportunities. Yeah. They ended up with a touchdown, 2 field goals, and then that turnover at the end of the half. Yeah, that was critical. And credit Oklahoma's defense for stiffening up and getting the right play when they needed to. The one thing that concerns me looking at the stats from an Oklahoma standpoint, only 31 yards rushing in that first half on 20 carries. I would expect to see Oklahoma try to get some more balance. Clemson the better balance offensively in that first half. Mayfield connected 17 times to 7 different receivers, so he saw it back and forth moments ago. Holly talked to Bob Stoops.
Well, Coach, this has been a very exciting game back and forth, but some big plays you've given up to their running quarterback. How do you fix that in the second half?
Yeah, we've gotten out of position. The plays we've practiced for 2 weeks, you got to stay in position, and that and tackling.
How do you get a little bit more rhythm in your offense? You finally found some on that last drive. How do you continue that?
Yeah, hopefully we could get a little more run game to go with the ability to throw. That'll help.
Thanks, Coach.
Hodgson to kick. Fuller and Artavis Scott are back inside the 5. Second half. A half to go to see who's going to have an opportunity to play for the national championship. And Clemson will take a knee. Will bring it out to the 25, and Deshaun Watson will take over. Wayne Gallman with him in the backfield. And he'll get the carry. And this is what he did in the first half with a lot of success. First down on the first touch. Pickup of 11.
This Clemson offense, compared to a year ago, they were a better defensive team a year ago, but they're better offensively, not just because of Watson, but because of their ability to run the football. And that's part Gallman, and it's part the offensive line that has really come together. That started the year, none of these guys up front were returning starters.
Including a true freshman left tackle who is where Gallman's running behind right now. Out to the 41-yard line. Great balance coming into the game. Clemson had scored 30 touchdowns in the air, 30 touchdowns on the ground, and in the top 25 in both of those categories as far as the country. Gallman got 5 more. Second down and 5. He's had a good opening third quarter. Watson all day to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he gets it out to a safety valve, and it's Leggett finally getting the catch and close to a first down. I think he's got it. Matthew Romar was the guy put some heat on number 4.
It's only a 3-man rush going against 6 blockers, but Romar able to get in there and force Watson out, and Watson dumps it down to a safety valve.
Out to the 46 with a first down. Gallman inside. And again, he keeps the legs driving. He gets to midfield and a little bit more. I mean,
you know, and the coaches told us they described him, Dabo Swinney described him as a workhorse, a real grinder. That's what that run is. That's a picture of a grinder right there. A guy who runs stronger than maybe he looks. And when we talk to the Oklahoma coaches, Mike Stoops says, I think he's the most underrated player on their team.
There's his numbers right now. And it's Artavis Scott picking up another first down near the 40-yard line. By the way, Gallman, with the runs he's had in the first half, passed Raymond Priester as the single-season rushing leader in Clemson history. They've had a lot of good backs at Clemson.
Well, the other thing we're seeing Gallman do is pick up blitzes and pass protection, and that play on the reverse got a great block on the middle linebacker, Dominique Alexander.
He's going to get a breather, and Zach Brooks is in a tailback. First down at the 39. Play fake, quick throw out in the flat. Ray McLeod. Nice open field tackle.
A really nice play by Stephen Parker. Last time we saw Oklahoma, Stephen Parker made the game-saving play on a 2-point attempt by TCU. Just jumped straight up and got his hands on the football. That's a tough play, making a tackle like that in space on a quick wide receiver.
2nd and 8. Here's an option. We haven't seen much of that. The late pitch, and it's a first down, and it's a bunch more. Collision time at about the 17-yard line. Brooks and Ahmad Thomas.
What a nice change of pace by Tony Elliott, calling the option. Oklahoma has to stop the quarterback run. Devontae Bond takes the quarterback, but they're not disciplined on the pitch. And a little different wrinkle with the quarterback run gets Clemson a first down.
And Ahmad Thomas got a mouthful of Brooks. And Ray McLeod for the second time on this drive with a completion to pick up a 4.
We've seen
Clemson marching right down the field.
We've seen quarterback draw. We've seen zone read. We've seen quarterback counter, and we've seen quarterback power. And that time we saw a lead option.
Here they are in the red zone again, but like I said, a couple of field goals, a touchdown, and a turnover for their efforts, including those numbers passing the football down here for Deshaun. And with that, they keep it on the ground. They got it to the 15, and that's it. Nice play by Dominique Alexander, the junior out of Tulsa.
Yeah, nice job by the guy in front of him, too. The defensive nose tackle absorbed 2 blockers, and that enabled the middle linebacker to scrape right into the hole and make a tackle without pressure.
Well, a beautiful opening drive by Clemson. Can they continue? 3rd down and 5. We'll find out. They need to get to the 10-yard line. That's Leggett in motion. Watson got it inside the 10 to Renfro. It's 1st and goal. Tigers at the 4.
You know, there's certain receivers that a quarterback feels really comfortable with because you know what you're going to get, you know where they're going to be, and they're going to make good, tough catches in traffic, and that's what Deshaun Watson feels with Renfro.
You just feel Deshaun Watson on a quarterback draw here at the 4-yard line. There is number 4. Down inside the 2. You talk about an almost perfect 3 minutes and 50 seconds to open the third quarter. Oklahoma's given up 1 touchdown down here, but this one's really close. 12th play of the drive from the 1. Touchdown, Clemson. The Tigers are back in front. Wayne Gallman from a yard.
Beautiful block by Tyrone Crowder, the right guard, to cap a perfect drive to start the third quarter for Clemson. They ended the second quarter on a bad note. They start the third quarter on a great note. Tell you what, the fact that Deshaun Watson ran the ball so much in the first half, Gallman looks fast and fresh.
Field goals point after is right down the middle, which is exactly where Wayne the Train Gallman just ran to cap a 75-yard drive right down the middle. Top-ranked Clemson's got the lead back. Our third lead change. Clemson back in front 23-17 after a 75-yard drive. And Watson had about half of that. Hugel to kick off. Alex Ross from a yard deep. Hasn't had a big one yet tonight, but he's had some solid ones out across the 20 again, near the 22-yard line. We check in with Holly.
Well, Clemson comes out and marches right down the field on this Oklahoma defense that's typically so stout. They did a good job preparing for this heat, trying to practice for 3 weeks in their indoor facility with the heat up high, but it's about 80 degrees down here on the field. It is hot and muggy, and now without some of their key depth, Charles Walker, who's out, a defensive tackle with a concussion, Jordan Evans, their middle linebacker, who is also out with an injury. I just don't see the same pep in the step of these Sooners that we're used to seeing, guys.
Well, that's why I think establishing their run game a little better here to start the third quarter will be important. Take some time off, let that defense rest a little bit more as well.
He rides with Mayfield. And Mayfield on the keeper, doesn't get anything. In fact, he loses a yard. Run out of bounds by Kevin Dodd.
See different running styles between Mayfield and Watson. Watson mostly by design. Where Baker Mayfield hurts you as a runner is when things break down on a pass rush and they leave a lane and he scrambles or creates.
You mentioned earlier they had doubled from the Texas game on what they did as a team rushing the football, and they're not getting much at all, as you just saw that graphic so far here early in the third quarter tonight. 1.6 a carry. Blitz coming. Pirine going down.
Sometimes you blitz to get to the quarterback. Sometimes you blitz anticipating run. This was a run blitz, and they outnumbered Oklahoma at the line of scrimmage. They outnumbered them. There weren't enough white shirts to block, and a beautiful play by Kevin Dodd coming in there as well.
Pirine still down.
DJ Reader, number 48, in there as well.
Pirine grabbing it, looked like his left ankle, and he is in some serious discomfort.
Oklahoma running back Samaje Perine, their 1,000-yard rusher, has been helped off the sideline. He could put no weight at all on that left ankle. So that will mean it's Joe Mixon time. But, guys, Joe Mixon was a little bit limited in that first half. He has come out of the locker room at the halftime with a heavily taped right leg. He was limping in several series in that first half. I asked Coach Dukes at the half, hey, is Mixon okay? And he said, yes. We will find out right now.
Well, it wasn't necessarily the tackle. It was the 325 pounds of DJ Reader that landed on the outside of that left ankle of Pirine. So it's Joe's turn in the backfield, as Holly said, on 3rd and 14. Play action. Mayfield's in trouble, and down he goes. And it's the same guy that started the play before, Dodd with a sack, the 4th of the night.
Well, he beat the guard, Kasitati, and then the back couldn't help. Mixing in for his first play, not able to get enough and take enough steam out of Dodd. And Dodd making up for the absence of his partner, Shaq Lawson, with a huge sack on third down.
Third straight negative play. And it sets Oklahoma back to where Seibert's got a kick from his own end zone. And this should give Artavis Scott maybe a chance at a return, or at least good field position. Well, kicks a mile high. Scott's going to fair catch it.
Great kick.
Yeah, it was a beauty.
Low snap, too. Fielded a low snap in his own end zone and kicked a boomer.
Still pretty good field position for Clemson with a 6-point lead when we come back. At the 49, quick throw out in the flat to Renfro. Spins his way twice. Inside the 45, a pickup of 6. And that's Clemson that's going as fast as OU was on that last drive. Under 5 minutes in the third quarter. A lot of plays in their drives tonight. This is the quarterback behind his tailback again. This one doesn't gain as much as the last one did when they ran that play. Pick up a 3.
Bob Stoops talked about being in the right position. They know the plays are coming, and that time they maintained good position, good discipline, and stopped Watson for a very short game.
Second down at 7 at the 35. Renfro in the slot. Watson rolling to that right side and throws on the run, and he got Renfro down the sideline. Touchdown. There's the security blanket again. That gives Clemson a little more security. 29-17.
The difference between this play and plays we've seen through the game, Deshaun Watson was not flushed out of the pocket and throwing on the run. This was by design, moving him out of the pocket. He had a timed up route with his receiver Renfro, and Stephen Parker, the safety, went for the interception and missed on the gamble.
He'll go in for the point after. It's good. Tony Elliott said about number 13, he might have the best football knowledge of anybody on our team. He knew what to do there, didn't he? 70-yard drive, 4 plays, 35-yard touchdown pass. It's 30-17 Tigers. Alex Ross been a busy kick returner and dropped that one. Clemson with a 13-point lead. They're 19 minutes and 7 seconds away from playing for the national championship, but we got a long way to go. And we got a lot of Baker Mayfield left. Mayfield throws. Nice throw and catch out to Jarvis Baxter. First down, Sooners.
Well, this is the kind of situation Baker Mayfield, the way he plays, his personality, his charisma, he wants to be right there where he is right now. Plays with a chip on his shoulder, says, you want to put the game on my shoulders? That's okay. That's where I want it to be.
Pick up a 17 out to the 42. Quick play fake, pump and go on the sideline and incomplete. That was intended again for Jarvis Baxter. Good coverage by T.J. Green. They had that one big pass play, but there has not been a lot of explosion in the receiving core tonight for Oklahoma so far. You just keep waiting for that one big one to Sterling Shepard. Second down at 10. Clemson showing blitz. They're bringing blitz. Mayfield near sideline, overshot Deron Neal by quite a bit.
It's a hard throw for any quarterback. Left hash mark, throwing to the right sideline.
Well, we'll push him back, and that's what their defense is hoping to do versus Oklahoma's offense on 3rd and 10. Mayfield, pressure coming. Got away from one, got away from two, and now he's going to do it with his legs, and he's got a first down. The magic of Baker Mayfield. Big first down run.
See, this is where he hurts you as a runner. Very different than Deshaun Watson. His ability to extend plays. Now he's going to pick up a block from Samaje Perine as he takes off. Perine's an outlet receiver, but once he sees his quarterback running, he gets a nice block on Boulware for some extra yards.
Out to the 40-yard line of Clemson. Blitz off the corner. Mayfield's going that way with the ball and overshot everybody. It was Micaiah Quick, his intended receiver. J-Ron Curse came flying in there from the secondaries. We check in with Holly.
Well, the medical staff for Oklahoma has examined Joe Mixon. They've been going down the back of his neck, asking him if he has pain. He says no. He wants to get back in and play, but it doesn't look likely at this point, guys. It looks like he was really out for a while or may have even lost consciousness there. They're being very cautious with Joe Mixon. Probably won't return.
And with that, it's Perine in the backfield for Oklahoma all by himself. Mayfield, slant, tipped, intercepted by B.J. Goodson, the middle linebacker.
B.J. Goodson, we already talked about. He was one of the unknowns. He's right here. When you're in zone defense, your eyes are on the quarterback, not on a particular receiver. Watch Goodson just read the quarterback and move with his eyes right into the throwing lane and gets the interception.
BJ's second interception of the season and the first suffered by Mayfield in his last 96 passes.
Oh, a little deflected also at the line of scrimmage. Only the 6th interception of the season for Baker Mayfield.
Wayne Gallman broke one tackle, not the second one, though. It's Eric Stryker who brings him down for a loss of 5.
Big play right there because Oklahoma's defense has not been able to create very many negative yardage plays, particularly on first down. And this Clemson offense has gained momentum the longer the game has gone on. So that was a huge play on first down by Stryker to set him behind the chains to end the third quarter.
Oklahoma has 15 minutes to do something about a 13-point deficit. Clemson's 15 minutes away for a trip to the national championship. Fourth quarter coming up. Second down at 15 to open the quarter. Deshaun Watson rolls, throws, going deep. Renfro's out there and almost made a one-handed catch and a flag on Stephen Parker.
Now Bob Stoops was arguing there was a play on his sideline that was similar.
Number 10, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's going to move the line of scrimmage all the way to the OU 40.
It's single coverage on a deep route, and it's not because of the contact as much as it is that Stephen Parker never turned around to find the football.
So Clemson right back in Sooner land at the 40 with the first down. See if we get more of Wayne Gallman, who's had a sensational night. 6 more for Gallman.
You know, and we talked about the improvement of this Oklahoma defense, and it's for real. They played at a much higher level on all 3 levels of their defense, but that was the 74th play of the game right now that their defenses had to be on the field for. And so, you know, Clemson is on pace to run over 100 plays. It's a hot night here in Florida. That takes its toll on a defense that's already missing a couple key guys because of injury.
Charles Walker, who didn't play because of concussion. Jordan Evans, the middle linebacker, out. And here comes more of the Wayne train. First down, Clemson.
And there's nothing that takes it out of you faster than a running game. When they come right at you and punch you right in the gut with an offensive line firing off the ball and a guy running like Gallman, that even takes it out of you more than pass rushing.
Gallman had a decent season last year, but he's been asked numerous times why the major improvement this year, and Dabo Swinney says maturity. He just grew up. In the red zone again. Watson fakes the run. Now he will run. Finds some room back to the left side. Inside the 10. Oh, what a block on Stryker as he got to the 7. And that block was Artavis Scott, the wide receiver, but maybe it was in the back.
There is no foul on the play for the illegal block. Second down.
And that brings that reaction from the Clemson Tiger wide receiver.
Deshaun Watson is looking to throw back on the roll. It wasn't there, and when he takes off, Artavis Scott's going to come from the top of the screen.
I think Jermon Hopper was wide open, but he didn't see him. And at the end of the play, there's the collision between Artavis Scott and Eric Stryker. The flag's picked up. 3 straight runs for Clemson. Second down and 4. Here comes another run, and it's Gallman, and he's going to have a first down at the 3. Clock winding down to 11:27. They were short of the first down, but it's third down and less than 1. Quite a bit less than 1. Gallman, touchdown. His second of the night from 4 yards out.
Just power running. Power running and power blocking up front. Joe Gore, the right tackle. Stanton, Seckinger, the tight end on that side. And then Gallman just runs through the arm tackle of Stryker. If you would have told me before this started that Clemson would run for over 300 yards against Oklahoma's defense tonight, I would not have believed you.
Extra point is good. 50-yard drive, 9 plays, just under 5 minutes. The man they call the Wayne Train for the second time tonight, pulling out of the station and pulling in the end zone. Clemson with a 20-point lead. Only the 3rd time in Orange Bowl history that 2 players from the same team have rushed individually for over 100 yards. How about those numbers for those 2 guys?
Well, they did it in their last game, too. In the ACC championship game, they both ran for over 100. And Clemson is just in full grind mode right now offensively. Ever since the touchdown pass from Watson to Renfro, Clemson has run it 12 straight times.
Riding a 16-game winning streak. Looking to win their 4th straight bowl game, but more importantly, a 17th straight win would send them to the national championship game. They're within 10:48 right now.
Now Baker Mayfield to bring his team out again. You know, he's had a good night throwing the football. 21 of 34, 259 yards and a touchdown. They just have had no running game. There's been some sacks, and they have not been able to run the ball well, so they've been a very one-dimensional team.
They need some explosive plays now. They're going to try and end around here. They got it to Sterling Shepard. He's got his quarterback blocking in front of him, and he cartwheels to the 30 on the hit by T.J. Green. Well, it looked fun, but it only picked up 5 yards. Again, there has not really been a long ball to Sterling Shepard tonight from Baker Mayfield, and credit Clemson's defense for that. P-Rod wants to get the first down and does. And again, he's playing on a bad ankle, and he drags, and he might not be getting up again.
Yeah, the way he reacted at the end of that play made it look like he tweaked it again.
For injured player.
Carlos Watkins, another 300-pounder, not only making the tackle but also landing on his leg again, and turned the other way this time.
Yeah, he's out there playing on guts and determination. Obviously not 100%, and
I think Samaje Perine's night has got to be over now after injuring his left ankle for the 2nd time tonight. Was helped off the field, and I'm sure that's probably it. And again, as Todd said, he was playing on guts, and because his team needed him, or maybe he wouldn't have been out there anyway. Down the seam, that's a one-hopper intended for Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard's Oklahoma career will end here tonight, too, and he's been a special young man. Of course, his dad who wore the same number, played for the Sooners, and passed away when Sterling was only 6 years old. So he has remembrances, but everybody else tells him how good a player his dad was, and he was. And he lived up to that number 3 all the way through his career. 3rd down, 13. And again, down the middle, there's Sterling Shepard at midfield. Great career.
I think the line judge called that incomplete.
I guess maybe he did. There's his dad, 83 to 86. And a special moment on the final senior night. Brian Bosworth presenting him with a Sooners Illustrated magazine with all the signatures of the guys from the 85 team, that whole championship team, and you saw his reaction with his mom and his sisters there. He'll go on and play some more.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, nice kick. Fair catch. Back around the 17-yard line with 2:13 remaining. 42-yard punt. Well, 34 years ago, the guys in orange won it all. They did it in the Orange Bowl. And now in 2015, they're going to get the chance to play for all the marbles with a win in the Orange Bowl.
Take a look. One side of the stadium, the orange is still sitting there, savoring this moment and this victory. The Crimson side starting to file out, and we talked to Dabo. He said, you know, I've been selling to my team ever since I've been the head coach. We have 5 goals every year. Win our opener, win our division, win the state, win our league, and then win our bowl game. And if we ever do all 5 in the same year, we're playing for the whole thing.
And then he said they changed the rules on me. Now I got to add another one.
Yeah, we got a chance to play for the whole thing. We did it all, and we got a chance to play for the whole thing.
He said when he was part of an Alabama national championship when they were 13-0, he said we were holding the trophy. At 13-0 this year, we're just getting to the table. Well, they're about ready to take the table by storm here in Miami Gardens. Aerial coverage today brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, and I'm sure all of you that are watching do, you got to get DirecTV. Going to be one more feather in the cap of one Dabo Swinney. In his 7th full year, this is going to be his 75th win as a head coach of the Clemson Tigers. And through 100 games coming in, he had the exact same winning percentage as Danny Ford, who was the coach that won the 81 title. Dabo's going to have a chance. At 14-0, he'll take his troops to Arizona. Deshaun could run for president in South Carolina right now, or governor.
Well, what a brilliant job by Brent Venables and the defensive staff, also one-dimensionalizing this explosive Oklahoma offense tonight, holding them to 67 yards rushing.
Another knee after a hesitation by Deshaun. Deshaun Watson, Wayne Gallman, the offensive line of the Tigers. A better than expected defense by the Tigers. And a Tiger team that still got just 1-0 over there in the loss column. They'll run it around Oklahoma. Won't do anything. Deshaun's going to throw it in the stands, or as far as he can throw it into the Clemson stands. And it's over. The Clemson Tigers are the Capital One Orange Bowl champions. They are still undefeated. They are 14-0. And they've got a date with either Michigan State or Alabama for a national crown. Holly's with a winning coach.
Well, Dabo, what does 14-0 sound like to you?
It sounds like it's been 7 years. And it's been a fun journey. God is good. So, all the glory to God. That's all I can say. It's been unbelievable. Been a long time. Never been on a 14-0 team. So it sounds good. But, you know, our team has shown heart and guts all year long. it's amazing to me that, you know, I told them, you ain't favored to win the damn game, but we ain't no underdog. You know, and everybody out there, nobody believes in this team except these guys. And they just got a great heart. And it showed tonight. I thought we physically won in the trenches. That's what this game's all about. It's just beating the guy in front of you. And we got off to a good start. We just weren't scoring in the red zone. We got that fixed in the second half. Defense rose up in the second half. Man, what some huge plays. BJ, Ben Boulware. All I know is we go into the Natty. That's all I know. We're going to play somebody in Arizona. And God is good. And to God be the glory. That's all I got to say.
I am going to ask you one more, though. You went into the locker room down at the half, Coach, but you came right back out and scored. What did you say in the locker room at halftime that got your team right?
Well, we just got to clean a few things up. You know, we had like 5 drives in a row into the red zone, and we weren't getting touchdowns. So we just need to clean a few things up. I was really disappointed that we didn't make a couple of the competitive plays. So we made those competitive plays. Just a tremendous second half. But, you know, the thing for us is, anytime we're 51-0 when we take a lead in the fourth quarter. So I said, let's go win the third quarter because we know what happens in the fourth quarter, and that's exactly the way it went.
Deshaun Watson coming in to give his coach a big hug right here. We'll hear from Deshaun in just a few moments. Bradley?
All right, Holly, thanks. Regardless of who they play, Michigan State or Alabama, will they be favored in that one? I don't know, but they got a chance to be perfect, and nobody's ever done that, at least with 15 wins. Deshaun Watson leads the way. He's probably going to be holding the MVP trophy here in a couple of minutes. But now Clemson, going back to last season, has won 17 straight football games. Quite a performance by Coach Sweeney's Clemson Tigers as we head down to Holly Rowe.
Well, thank you, and what a wonderful evening here in Miami. Would like to have a special thank you. We are so grateful to Capital One for their support of college football. And now to present the Capital One Orange Bowl trophy, the president and chair of the Orange Bowl Committee, Lee Stapleton.
Thanks, Holly. On behalf of the Orange Bowl, we'd like to congratulate both of the teams, the Capital One Orange Bowl and the college football playoff. I'm so happy to present you with this trophy on behalf of Capital One Orange Bowl. Coach Dabo, you said this team brought their own guts. Well, you brought them to all this glory. Congratulations.
Thank you. How about them Tigers, baby? Thank you, Lee. I just want to say thank you to the Orange Bowl, Capital One. It was an incredible week. So proud of our team and our staff for the preparation, how they played the game. It was an awesome second half. It's been 34 years since Clemson played for the national championship, but it ain't going to be much longer.
Brad, let's go back to you.
All right, Holly, thank you. So it's 14-0 for the Clemson Tigers as they are still perfect, and they'll play for a national crown in Glendale, Arizona.